Well, as you can see, I'm wearing my best tuxedo today to provide you with some information about a pretty old camera. And maybe this camera is still of some use to some of us in some circumstances, in some rare occasions. I really do not want to talk this camera down. You can get it pretty cheap, and it could be that it is a good start for your photography or even for your videography. What is shooting me right now is the Sony NEX 5, not the R. It's just the simple NEX 5. It was one of Sony's first mirrorless camera systems, and I really liked this one when it came out. It was about 2010 or 2011, and I debated buying this or a Nikon DSLR, and I bought the D7000, but my mother got this camera for her travels to America, to Southern America and Canada, and she bought this one because you could transfer your pictures directly to your smartphone and send it, and well, it has a flip-up mirror. There are some downsides to this camera. I do not like the colors in particular, and you do not have a lot of range. Of course, it has no S-Log or anything. It does not even have a video mode. Right now I'm filming in the aperture priority mode and on continuous autofocus. I'm not quite sure if it works or not. We will test it out, and we will mount some lenses to this old box of technology and see if it can hold up. It has no external microphone input. Of course it has not. So I'm using a external recorder right now with a lavalier mic, as you may or may not see. But let's see if it is any good or usable. I think you can get it pretty cheap for less than $100 maybe, used of course. And for that it might be good. And surprisingly, the autofocus seems to be better than the autofocus on the A7S, and I think I pretty much like the image what I see in the flip-up monitor. Does it have me? No? No? Well. Does it get it? No? Well, it seems to struggle a little, at least with this lens. This is the 18 to 55, 3.5 to 5.6. I mounted this lens already. That's my Beagle. I mounted this lens already on the A6700, and I really, really like this lens. Of course, it's not cinematic, and as I said, what even the definition of that might be, but it is so versatile and light and cheap. For vlogging, it's almost perfect. And this camera would be a good candidate for vlogging if it would at least have a hot shoe to mount some Sony microphone equipment on top, but you cannot. So, if the conditions are controlled and you are on a pretty tight budget, it could be a good alternative to the A6000, for example, which has a hot shoe but no flip-up monitor. The pictures taken with these cameras, with the NEX cameras, are so good. I really like them, and it's so versatile. It's too bad that it does not have an external microphone input or a hot shoe even. Let's see if the autofocus still works on the Zeiss Batis 25. Et voila! Now we are on the Zeiss Batis 25 f2. It is all E-mount, right? So you can mount, at least theoretically, you can mount every E-mount lens on this camera. Do I recommend it? Well, let's say, you see? It does not seem to get me right. I'm not in focus. No, I'm not. I have to come closer to focus manually. Ooh, alright. Ooh. Now it seems to get me. And this is a problem with these older cameras. They do not work as good as the newer ones regarding the autofocus, but it is just because the lens and this camera, they, well, do not seem to speak the same language anymore. As I said in one of my videos, I made a video about this, the Viltrox 85mm 1.8. It functions perfectly on the A6700, But on the Sony A7S, even though it gets me at first, it starts to struggle and then it loses my butt. So we will see if this lens will get me when I'm a bit more at distance to this setup. So it gets snitched, puked or pissed on distance. Let me show you. So right now I have no clue if it guards me or not. I can see a little small ant on the little small ant TV, which is the flip up screen of this camera, behind the large belly of the Batis 25. But if I am in focus, we should not have 3D pop, of course not. But it's not because of the Batis alone. It is a combination of this sensor, pixel pitch and the Batis, but who cares? For this camera you will not buy it because of the 3D pop. But does it autofocus? I seriously doubt it. It may have a good look, and for photography it autofocuses reliable, I can tell you that. But the continuous autofocus for video, I don't know, my friend, I don't know. I will come closer now and then we will mount another lens and see what this might give us. So, right now I'm crawling towards the camera like our mighty friend the worm. Does it got me? Ooh, no. We give it time. Nope. Let's help it a little. Ooh. So it's like you want to jump from the 3-meter or 10-meter tower, if you dare to go to a public bath nowadays, and you're scared. You're scared. Someone needs to push you a little, at least. And this is what I did. I just pushed the combination of lens and camera a little. I hope it will not disappoint us with the 55. Or will it? To be fair, this lens, even mounted on the A7S, disappointed me quite a bit. It took a lot of time to get me into focus. I made a video about this already. And even when it got me, it lost me again. Well, maybe it did not realize that this was a human face, and maybe it isn't. But I believe it is. This camera will not recognize a human face, of course. And it does not matter that much. The A6000 could not recognize a human face, but it was perfectly fine with the focus. You see, I wish I could tell you that I am in focus, and I wish I would know whether I'm in focus right now while I'm chimping around about this lens. And it's pretty embarrassing when talking about this camera or lens being out of focus all the time to bore the hell out of you, having to see me blurry. I don't know. You see, you have to be confident in when you shoot yourself with this pissed and puked on distance, or snitch distance, right? But you cannot be. And this is something very important. This is why I prefer the A6700 over the A7S. It's not because of the look. I like the look of the A7S more. But I just don't trust it. You see, you record yourself. You say, well, maybe you have something important to say. And then you look at the footage and what do you see? You see blurry bullshit. This is not good, you see. If you cannot trust your gear, if you cannot trust the system, it does not matter if it has 3D pop, is lightweight, cheap, you know, doesn't matter. You have to find a system that you can trust. And this camera is good for photography, it is. For videography, I would not recommend this camera. As I already said, no external microphone input. The autofocus, well, as you can see, or could see, it's not reliable. And my third reason is that I cannot trust the system to focus correctly. Well, maybe with the kit lens, maybe yes, but not with this. And we will now mount the Sigma 16mm 1.4 to see if it can handle this piece of glass. Not handle glass, it can. Well, apparently the camera decided not to work anymore. That's pretty reliable. It shuts off after 10 seconds. This is good. So, as you can see, no, the camera cannot handle the Sigma 60mm, even if I try to force it. I cannot even focus. I can do nothing. It does not work. Can I do it manually? No, not even manually. Just cannot focus. What the hell is up with this combination? Alright, you see, this is a pretty reliable contraption, right? It cannot handle the Sigma 60mm. I'm pretty astounded, I'm pretty surprised, and, well, a bit of relieved. If this would be good for video, that would be a little bit disappointing, because the newer cameras that are so much more expensive, well, who needs them, right? If you got this one, no, it will not get me. So, no matter what I do, it will not get me, and I have no idea the hell why. It does not even recognize the lens, it seems. It doesn't even show the aperture. I can do nothing with it. Oh no, oh no. I will try again. So, our master of reliability still doesn't work. Now it shows at least which aperture I'm on, but I cannot... No, there was it. There was the little push, but this is so unreliable. Look at my hand. Will it? Oh, it did. And now my face. I don't know what the problem is, you see. I started the recording and it will not get me in any... Nothing will happen. First, it did not even realize that there was a lens on, so the recording stopped and the aperture was not shown in the display. Now, I just released it and put it back on. Well, sometimes it needs a little push, and then it still doesn't get the focus right, you see? Does it? No. No. Right now? Well, you see, no matter if it gets me or not, you see that it struggles. You see that it is not reliable for this kind of situation, right? Right now, I can control the focus. At least I can single focus, and then I can move some millimeters and still be in focus. But that's not the plan. You cannot make your videos and be relaxed about it, because you're always wondering, am I in focus? Do I have to say everything again? And so on. Right now, I see that it struggles. I see it. These lenses are too modern for this old camera, at least for continuous autofocus and videography. I think it has something to do with the contrast detection. It's not that good. So just don't use it for video. Use it if you want to have a very light... You can combine it with a pancake lens, 28mm. I believe there is a pancake lens, or 18mm. And then go out, shoot pictures. It's pretty good for that. You can take selfies and so on, because it's a flip-up monitor. And this is what this camera is made for. It is not built for Zeiss 55 1.8 3D pop video. That's not what this camera is about. And I hope I will be able to get the AV-CHD material, the footage from this camera. I have no clue. I remember that I had some struggles with this when I first started shooting this camera as a video camera in 2012. So if you can see this video, I found out how this works. And do not buy this camera for video. Do not try it. Do not get frustrated with it. Use it for pictures, use it for photography a bit, travel with it. But other than that, it's done.